Hello and welcome to this short video about some of the many issues that occur in Ireland in relation to starting up or running a small business. My name is Gorry. I'm a solicitor, but I've also been a small business owner for over 25 years, since 1986 in fact. So I've a pretty good handle on many of the issues that crop up for small business owners and for entrepreneurs and startups and so on. Starting or running a business in Ireland is tough. It's difficult enough at the best of times, but in the current climate, with the whole depressed nature of the economy, many problems facing small business owners have been really magnified. Obviously there's a shortage of capital because the banks are effectively closed for small business owners. There are the problems of reducing sales, tightening margins, more pressure on you to reduce prices with a consequent reduction in your margin, and rising bad debts. Clearly other people are also struggling, and the people to whom you're selling your product or service are struggling as well, with the consequent rise in your bad debts. So, there's a very, very wide range of problems for small business. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom, but let's be honest, the likes of debt collection of outstanding cash is a serious problem. Then there's the whole issue of employment law and employment problems with staff. You have difficulties then with banks and suppliers, banks putting the squeeze on in relation to debt or mortgages, or removing mortgages, or removing overdrafts rather unilaterally. Then if you're in retail or many other businesses, consumers can give you a fair old degree of grief. If you happen to be in a partnership, disagreements among business partners is a very, very common problem, and that's why the partnership model for conducting your business is, or can be, a problematic one. Then there are issues around property disputes, landlord and tenant law, and even the question of, if things are really bad and you can't see a way forward, whether bankruptcy or some of the debt relief options that are coming down the track might be worth considering. The likes of company formation then clearly is something that you're going to be concerned about if you're just starting out. You need to be careful about the likes of business name registration. Then other issues can arise in the course of your business, either online or offline, to do with, for example, copyright, trademarks. Franchising then is a very, very popular way of starting a business. It has a lower failure rate than a straightforward startup, but negotiating a franchising agreement and ensuring that you're not getting absolutely filleted by a big franchisor is important. The problem then of product liability may rear its ugly head also, depending on what sort of a business you're in. And then there's the whole issue of data protection in relation to employees and in relation to customers. You may be collecting the personal information, for example, address and telephone number, mobile number of some of your customers. There is an obligation on you in relation to data protection and the whole area of direct marketing. There are very, very heavy fines for incorrectly marketing people who have not consented. That's an area you need to be considered or careful about. Intellectual property then, the likes of copyright, trademarks, domain names, designs, registered designs or unregistered designs, are also issues that face some business owners, small business owners. As I say, my name is Gorry. I'm a solicitor. I'm fairly well placed to help you with many of these problems, because I have been a small business owner in Ireland for over 25 years, since 1986 in fact. So if you want or have any difficulty with any of these issues that I've just raised, I can have a chat with you and give you a free, no obligation consultation. Simply use the contact form on the website businessandlegal.ie, or just contact me on either of the two numbers that you see on the screen there. I'm based in the Enfield, County Meath, on the main street. I think in fact it might be the only street in Enfield, and you can learn some more information or get some more information about doing business in Ireland at my website businessandlegal.ie. Thanks for watching. Okay, debt collection in Ireland. Debt collection and debt obviously is a serious issue for many people in Ireland at the moment, and also for small businesses and sole traders and others who have a lot of money outstanding and may or may not be in a position to try to collect the debt. This video will just give you an overview of the procedure for debt collection in Ireland. The first thing that you need to be concerned about when pursuing any debt is which court do you use to pursue your legal proceedings. Essentially in Ireland, debt collection can be pursued through one of three courts: the district court up to about 6,500 or thereabouts, the circuit court up to a value of about 38,000, and in excess of that then you'd be pursuing it in the High Court. As I say, it depends on the amount due and owing. The critical thing then, or one of the critical things in pursuing your debt, is to identify the correct legal entity to sue. So he or she may be a sole trader, maybe a partnership, maybe a limited company, but you need to be absolutely clear and absolutely accurate in who you're pursuing. So you may have done business with a particular individual, but that particular individual may have been acting on behalf of a partnership or a limited company. So you do need to be clear and identify the correct person or legal entity to sue. Another critical aspect of debt collection is the whole area of service of documents. There are different methods of service prescribed by the court rules. You must follow these rules for service, because if you don't, if there's a slip up or a departure from what's set out as the correct method of service, you won't get your judgment. There are essentially then two ways to get judgment. One is in the office, in the solicitor's office, or two, you can or may have to go through the court procedure. Again, that's a judgment call to be made, and it'll depend on the attitude of your debtor as to which method might be best. I mean, clearly the cheapest way is to obtain judgment in the office. The critical thing though, above all else, is your debtor a mark? In other words, is he or she or it as a legal entity worth going after? Because clearly you can't get blood out of a stone. So the first thing that you really need to do is make a good informed judgment call as to whether the person or entity is worth going after. Because, you know, clearly getting a judgment is one thing, but enforcing it and executing it and getting value out of it, getting your money back basically,